How to create responsible tours, even when your guests take buses and planes. It sometimes feels like in order to participate in responsible tourism, you have to have a perfectly responsible tour. However, in reality, a perfectly carbon neutral, plastic free, 100% locally run and operated tour is not always possible to achieve. In this article, I'll outline one of my favorite ways to evaluate the local impact of your tours, whether you're an operator creating tours or a tour guide giving tours for other companies. Number one, list your tour's impact across three categories: economic, environmental, and social. Your tours might affect the local community in both positive and negative ways. So, this first step is just to list out as many as you can think of. Some examples of positive economic impacts might be that the tour purchases items from local businesses, or your company hires locals, or maybe the tour visits a neighborhood that doesn't usually benefit from tourism dollars. Some negative economic impacts might be that your company operates in a different city or country than where you run tours, or maybe your tour visits an attraction that is owned by a multinational corporation, or maybe you pay low compared to the local wages. Some examples of positive environmental impacts: guests take public transportation on your tour, you show guests where to refill their water bottle, your tour features local and seasonal ingredients. Some negative environmental impacts might be that your tour involves internal flights or private vehicles, and maybe you give guests plastic water bottles. Some examples of positive social impacts: your tour promotes and preserves traditional practices or culture, like local dances or traditional ways of making food. Or maybe your guide instructs guests on local good manners and customs. For example, how to politely greet someone when you enter a shop, or how to say thank you in the local language. Negative social impacts might be that the tour visits an attraction that commercializes local culture traditions, or the tour sticks to areas that are overcrowded from tourism and where local shops or residents have been pushed out. Number two, take a look at your negative impact and see if there are any you can eliminate. While some negative impacts might be impossible to eliminate, for example, an internal flight on a multi day tour that has no option for a train, some are quite easy to erase. Number three, balance your responsible tour with positive impacts. Now that you've eliminated as many negative impacts as you can, see where you can add in more positive ones. Bonus, this is a great brainstorm activity to do with your guide team. The goal is just to have more positive impacts than negative impacts in each of the categories. Remember, the impacts will constantly shift as your tour evolves over time. It's a great practice to reevaluate each of your tours at the end of each season to see how you can improve for the following season. For more details and examples, you can read the full article at tripkinetics.com.